Up next, we're going to talk about Miller's Crossing from Criterion. And if you like that, click that subscribe button.
I like that.
So out February 8th, 2022 on Blu-ray from Criterion is Miller's Crossing. So previously released on Blu-ray from Fox about 10 years ago.
This ugly thing.
Yep, I've got the same one. It was also released in a box set that they put out for
Coen
like a Coen Brothers, Mind of the Coen Brothers little box set.
That's what this was.
Yeah, and they slid in there.
Fargo and
and Blood
a bunch
Simple.
of other bare bones.
Yeah, they were all
nonsense.
slid in there. So that was the other way you could have got that. So it's never really gotten much love. Criterion putting this out is kind of a big announcement, kind of exciting. It's only getting a 2K scan this time around from a previous 2K digital restoration is what it said. So no 4K disc is kind of a bummer here, not even a 4K scan. I'm sure it's going to look better than it's ever been, and I'm sure it's as best as anyone could have ever gotten. There's probably nothing more they could have done. The 2K digital restoration approved by director of photography Barry Sonnenfeld and Joel and Ethan Coen. There's a new 5.1 surround sound soundtrack, a new conversation between author Megan Abbott and the Coens, new interviews with Sonnenfeld, the composer, music editor, production designer, new and archival interviews with Gabriel Byrne, Marcia Gay Harden, John Polito, and John Turturro, plus an essay by film critic Glenn Kenny. Doesn't say anything about, any booklet that's going to be in there or any slipcase or anything. Overall, it's like a nice tight little, Criterion release for this film. I mean, again, I'm sure that's about as best as anyone's going to be able to get.
Criterion's put out other Coen Brothers stuff. So while this is an exciting title, I know you and I both enjoy this film. Not completely unexpected, but awesome.
It definitely doesn't have the mainstream acclaim that many of their films have, but it is a great movie.
I mean, I was young when this came out.
Yeah,
I remember trailers and all that. I don't think it was sold well. The people who probably did check it out based on the trailers walked out of it scratching their heads like, what?
Is there a point? Or are you just brushing up on your small talk?
On the heels of Raising Arizona, which is probably, I hope not cheesy to say, but maybe my favorite Coen Brothers movie.
Whereas Miller's Crossing, as you said, they were trying to masquerade it as like a costume period piece almost.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah.
Oscar bait.
They captured that era super well. The time, the language is a little, dare I say, not confusing, but, the lingo, sometimes you're like, what does that mean exactly? You can usually pick up what they're referencing, but it's like, what is that language they're using? Like, what is this hip dialogue that they wrote for this? And again, probably turned off some people. I think I remember the first time I watched it, I didn't understand a thing Steve Buscemi's character was saying.
He asked me to ask you to take care of him, put in a good word with Leo. Leo listens to you. Not that Leo wouldn't help the schmata anyway. And kind of like Bernie, you squared you like the schmata, straight shooter like him.
It never found its audience. I think if I met someone and they were going on about Goodfellas and, like any kind of gangster movie stuff, I would recommend Miller's Crossing to them.
I never say that, and I don't like people who do.
I feel like that
cool.
audience would appreciate it more, and they missed out.
No, for sure.
They didn't know what it was.
Yeah, and there is fun comedy in it too. And I don't know if I was supposed to laugh at this part, but that Tommy gun scene? It's just so over the top. Like it's so badass, but at the same time, it's so over the top that it's almost funny. Okay. He where Albert Finney's in bed and they swarm in or whatever. He just like hops out of bed. Like him at this point, he's just like an old man, kind of like he's an old head of a family. He's a gangster guy.
Dude,
he just like hops out of bed, springs out, grabs a gun. He like wastes everybody. He jumps out of his window of his house. He like rolls down the roof. He comes down on the ground. He blasts a whole car. That car explodes. He becomes like the Terminator or something in 5 seconds. I don't know if I'm supposed to be laughing because it's funny.
Supposed to be laughing.
Or respecting it at the same time for being badass, because it is both.
I mean, that's kind of what the Coen Brothers do.
Yeah, dude, that seems awesome. Yeah. So this was the third movie in their catalogs. They did Blood Simple, they did Raising Arizona, and then there was this one. And what I also didn't know is when they were writing this, I guess they got writer's block and they couldn't finish it, so they kind of put it on pause. And they wrote Barton Fink.
That's awesome.
Which is
you said writer's block. Yeah. I'm like, oh, so that's where they got the idea for Barton Fink.
So they literally wrote an entire other movie about a writer with writer's block, and also that Steve Buscemi, this movie combined with Fargo is the reason why he was continuously told to shut the fuck up in Big Lebowski as a joke that he talks way too much.
Schmata anyway, and kind of like Bernie, a square G like the Shimada, straight shooter like him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I know that was kind of funny too, and I think I'd heard that before, but when I was looking this up, that kind of popped out at me again. I was like, yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. Awesome movie. I'm really excited this is coming out. There's no pre-orders for it yet, but I will be pre-ordering this one. Yo, Kino, they're licking their lips. They'll pick it up in 4K, so maybe hold off. So out February 8th.